So you have a combination lock in your door, which makes sense because you've got kids and they go to school and all that stuff.
I don't think they use those.
Oh, well.
I don't know why I have that, and I have no idea how long that has been in my car.
When I started middle school and we all got lockers, we all had to have a combination lock. And I remember that people had their combinations, like, engraved into the bottom of their lock.
Seriously?
Seriously.
Do you think you could crack that? Have you ever gotten one?
I've tried before to crack combination locks.
And I tell you what, I'll give you a week.
You give me a week?
If you crack that combination lock, which I have no idea what the code is, like actually not like just blow it up.
Right.
Like actually get the code, I will buy you lunch.
Okay.
You heard it, folks.
Done.
You found a combination lock in my car. I have no idea where it came from, how old it is, what the code is. If he can crack it, then I'll buy him lunch. So if you have tips for him on how to crack a master lock, little spinny-like lock, like you would put on a locker, give him some tips.
MSU Mac.
Yeah.
MSUMACC.
Yeah. Now, if you're a locksmith, don't come and help him with it. He's got to be able to do it.
Yeah, I got to
with
do
just
it
your
myself.
tips.
And I've probably got to be able to tell you what the code is.
I really hope somebody suggests that you buy like a $300 lock picking kit that has like a stethoscope and all that, and
lunch.
You do it, and then you're like, Chad, you're like, Mike, this didn't work out in my favor at all.
Oh, that would be a poor buy.
That would be a bad decision financially.
Yeah, it would. I agree.
You'd get lunch, and it wouldn't be Witch because they're not around here anymore.
They're not around here. It's so sad.
Sad. Witch, come back.
Come back. Hey, Mike, what's the difference between a poorly dressed man on a bicycle and a well-dressed man on a unicycle?
I have no idea.
A tire.
I love dad jokes so much.
It's all about the wordplay.
I really know about dad jokes. I don't understand why people don't like them.
I don't either. They're just harmless, good fun.
That's the best part of them.
Yeah.
They're just so harmless. You can say them to your kids. You can say them to an adult.
Yeah.
And they're just funny.
Yeah.
How can you not like them?
I do like them.
I like them.
So I can't not like them.
Okay. Go dads.
Go dads.
And your jokes.
Yeah. What do you want to talk about today?
Well, I've got a little something I want to talk about. A longtime employee at Apple is leaving.
I saw that.
And then also a little thing that's going on Amazon. How about you?
I have Elon Musk thing I want to talk about.
Muskie.
Storage tech.
Storage tech. I like that. Anytime you can bring up anything about storage, it's good.
Yeah.
Organization. Is it kind of like that?
No.
No.
Bom, bom, bom.
All right, fine. I'll listen to your storage tech then. Well, you want to talk about it?
Yeah, let's talk about it. Hey guys, welcome back to Lunchtime Tech Talk. I'm Chad.
And I'm Mike.
And yeah, today we're talking about Johnny Ive, or John Ive. Is it Johnny?
It's Johnny.
It is Johnny.
It is Johnny.
So, when I saw this come across,
Uh-huh.
I 100% recognized the name. Couldn't tell you what he looks like, couldn't tell you what he does for Apple, but I was like, oh, Johnny Ive. I've seen that name before.
You're ahead of a lot of people.
Yes.
I have mentioned the name Johnny Ive to people at work, and they're like, who?
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're not a real Apple fan. No, Johnny Ive, he was kind of like one of the biggest designer influences for almost everything Apple since like really 1998. He started in 92.
Visually or like how things work?
It started off with the physical structures.
Okay.
So like the big one that you would probably noticed that he collaborated with Steve Jobs on was the iMac.
Okay.
Remember the one with the color casing on it that we talked about.
Yes.
That everybody was like, I want that awesome case.
I gotta have that.
You can see through it. And it was on Zoolander.
Yep.
And the files were
in the computer.
They smashed it on the ground.
Yep.
And they weren't in the computer.
That's what was in my brain when you brought up that iMac.
I'm so glad we're on the same level.
Yes.
It's a blue steel.
It's a total audio medium, and I just flashed blue steel.
Yeah, it was deadly. It was deadly. But yeah, no, he is leaving. He has probably made the most like influential designs for iMacs, MacBooks, iPods, the iPhone, the Apple Watch. Pretty much everything you know of Apple.
Everything that you give credit to Steve Jobs for? In terms of how things look and
Johnny Ive came up with a lot of the design, right? Uh-huh. And I'm sure Steve probably really managed all that. Like, as far as, like, Steve was real aggressive from what I understand on, like, if he didn't like it, you knew.
Okay.
So, who knows how many iterations Johnny Ive had to go through. Johnny Ive might have been like, golly, I can't stand this dude. He just keeps telling me no.
I know why I know his name.
What?
From when I was doing my AirPod research.
Oh.
He was talking about how many iterations they went through on just the little click that you get when you drop the AirPod down into and it twists and magnets and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I know his name.
Yeah, and you probably have heard him speak many a times because on any of those, like, remember the iconic like white background type commercials where there was like a British guy talking?
Oh.
That's his voice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He says all kinds of, like, fancy words, like aluminium.
Aluminium.
Yeah, I can't
That's one of the things.
I can't do it in the
They
accent.
spell it the same.
Yeah.
That we do. But they add extra letters for no reason at all.
Right, and many would say that we are wrong, but some would say we are not.
There's no
I just say
extra
aluminum.
I there. Yeah.
We had this conversation the other day at work. No, well, not you and I.
Right.
Me and a couple other people.
Aluminium.
And then same with color. They spell color different. They have a U in it.
Yeah, so do you know how that came to be?
No.
The OU is in a lot of words that British use. So in America, this is capitalism, right? Mm-hmm. If America's known for one thing, capitalism. Mm-hmm. So newspapers charged by the letter. And a lot of words just started dropping that U.
This is why the English language is impossible.
Right.
Because there's a million ways to do it.
Yeah.
And it's the newspaper's fault.
Right.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Because...
So you could save a lot on a print ad or whatever.
By just getting rid of some letters.
That U. Yeah.
Well, did you know that they could have gotten rid of a lot of letters then? Because isn't there something out there where you can read something if you know the starting and ending letter?
Yeah, the middle letters kind of need to be there, but it doesn't matter what order they are.
This is totally not about Johnny Ive.
It's totally not.
Sorry.
We digress.
Tangent.
Back on.
Yeah, he's leaving, and the other thing he did is he is accredited for basically all of the software, like look and feel for iOS since iOS 7.
Oh, wow.
So iOS 7 had that big, huge redesign where they went away from, I believe it's called skeuomorphic. Because skeuomorphic, if I'm getting this right, is more like if you have something that's like a pool table, it's going to have the green felt with the pockets and all the little things. Where now everything is more of a flat design. Where it's flat colors and there's not the realism to like icons and all that stuff. It's all real simple, clean design, which they're kind of getting back to some of that skeuomorphism in iOS 13, but not as drastic as what they were in iOS 6 and below. So he's accredited for a lot of the software look and feel of how Apple is, kind of the nostalgic, clean look that you get from Apple. A lot of people talk about that, the simplistic stuff.
Yeah.
So... Yep, he's leaving. I guess he's going to go do some independent design work. I think it's just more he's going to go play. The dude is a multi-millionaire.
I figure anyone at Apple that you know their name is super rich.
You would think. It may not be the case.
It may not be the case, but that's how I think of it.
Yeah, but somebody up that high who's been around since 92,
right,
has had that much influence, yeah, that dude is loaded.
Over the weekend, Elon Musk retweeted birthday wishes from his own brother to himself. Elon Musk's brother said, "Hey, happy birthday," and Elon retweeted it. But the message was hilarious because it said, "Happy birthday to Elon Musk. Thanks for being a great older brother and always looking out for me. Oh, and for all that changing the world stuff." Which I thought was hilarious. Because yeah. So that got me thinking about Elon Musk was fairly well off from childhood. So their parents own an emerald mine. Because, that's normal.
Yeah. I got 2. And a ruby mine.
So they own an emerald mine. So, I've read, little anecdotal stories that they would just sometimes be walking around with emeralds in their pocket because, it's just things that they found around.
This might be why he is who he is. Maybe the emeralds actually, messed
They're
with
magical.
Yeah.
Well, people talk about crystals. Gemstones are kind of crystals, pocket. So you heard it here first, folks. Throw a bunch of emeralds in your pocket.
Carry them around. But if you're an adult, it's too late.
Oh,
you have to be a young child.
And so it got me thinking about how many wealthy to super wealthy people don't grow up and change the world. Just because he had a lot of money doesn't mean that he was going to do anything.
Yeah, buying a Lamborghini doesn't make you change the world.
Right. Probably makes the world a little worse.
Maybe.
I mean, for sake of argument.
I don't know if that's a fact, but there's a possibility.
There's a possibility. And so, if you don't know anything about Elon Musk, you just know that he's made some cars that are electric. And that doesn't seem like that big of a deal. But then he's got the battery factory that's all solar, and the SpaceX stuff. The rocket lands itself. It's just crazy.
It's insane.
NASA built a rocket and said, we'll just leave it up there.
Good enough.
And Elon's like, no, it's expensive. I want it to come back.
Well, he grew up in the recycle, reduce, reuse, close the loop.
I was going to say that's the difference between government spending and private spending.
That could be. Yeah.
The government says, well, I kind of got unlimited pockets.
Look, we shot all this money up into space.
We'll just leave it up there.
Back.
We can't get it back. We don't know how.
It's not possible.
We didn't think about it.
Mm-mm.
And the private business that is using its own money says, I want that thing back.
Give me my thing.
Give me that back.
That's my long tube that I shot up into space. I want my long Pringle tube back. Just holds a bunch of Pringles. But he also created PayPal. Him and his brother. Did you know that?
No.
That's how he got a huge amount of his money to start Tesla.
What?
So you probably use PayPal.
I don't, actually.
Ever?
Ever.
You don't ever
I don't have an account.
What?
What?
Are you serious?
I'm serious. I'm dead serious. I don't have a PayPal account.
What world are we in? I've got one. I run several things through PayPal.
Yeah.
Like my eBay. I buy stuff off
So
eBay.
who did they sell PayPal to?
I think eBay
Facebook?
bought them.
Oh, eBay?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
That's why it's the main, transaction thing through eBay. There's not really another one, I don't think.
So that was a huge influx of cash.
Mm-hmm. What do you think? Shooting the rockets up into space, I don't think it has hit its peak impact on society yet. It will soon, because he's already started his massive internet thing where he's shooting up hundreds of satellites up into the sky.
Oh yeah.
They released 60 of them, right? some people say that there's going to be so many satellites up there that you'll actually be able to see it as like a light belt around the whole world.
Oh, wow.
And what it will do is it will deliver high-speed internet to the entire world. You will
satellite high-speed internet.
Yeah, you'll no longer need a connection or whatever if you're out in the middle of nowhere. If you're out in the middle of the desert,
yeah,
you could get high-speed internet.
Nice.
Which is pretty cool because I know of a lot of people. I was talking to one of Jessica's uncles, my wife's uncles, this weekend, and he lives out in the country, pretty far out there, and he's having a lot of hard time getting really reliable internet.
My parents live out in the sticks. Like, the first time I ever took Laura down to meet my parents, we drove for an hour and a half, and then we turned on a dirt road. And she goes, "Where are you taking me?
Are you going to murder me?"
I was like, "This is where my family lives."
No, this is not.
And so, yeah, my stepmom does medical transcription.
Yeah.
And so she needs reliable internet, and they don't have any hardwire choices.
Yeah.
So she uses either Dish or DirecTV, whatever, and they just rake her over the coals.
Yeah, they're super expensive, and they have
super
low
expensive.
limits.
Yeah.
Of how much you can use. Yeah, that's gonna be pretty cool. The other thing I was gonna say is I don't think that, like I was saying, I don't think that has fully affected like the human race in our society yet, but it will. But the electric car thing really has.
Yeah.
If you look at it, like 5 years ago, some of these car manufacturers were kind of laughing at Elon. Like, dude, you're not going to know what you're going to do. You don't know what you're doing. You're going to go bankrupt. You can't play with the big boys.
Right.
But now look at every single one of them is racing to get the next electric car.
They've all got plans to release not a hybrid.
Yeah.
A full plug-in.
Full electric, yeah. And now trucks are starting to get on board. You're starting to hear about trucks. And this would not have happened. I don't want to say that because it could have happened. Somebody else could have started this revolution, but it wouldn't have happened if somebody like Elon wouldn't have come along and started pushing the envelope, making something cool besides those weird-looking electric cars.
Right. And it's fast and it's sporty and it's everything that you want in a modern car.
And it was so cool and so fast that his buyers promoted his stuff so much that it made other people want to buy it. Think about all the Tesla videos you saw a couple of years ago racing high-end sports cars.
Yeah.
That wasn't Tesla going out saying,
"No,
look, we can beat them." It was their buyers.
It was street racers going, "These things are fast.
Hey, I got my family in the back. Let's go drag." And then they'll go drag down the road and beat a Lamborghini.
Yeah. Did you see the video that was like out and then deleted, but someone saved it off, of the Boring Company? Some like VP or something got to test out a 1.25 mile section of completed tunnel.
Oh.
And they did it in a Model 3, maybe?
Yeah.
But
what? That was deleted?
He put it out on his Twitter and then he deleted it, but somebody'd saved it off.
Oh, because I put a link to that because there was actually a reporter in the car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. 116 miles an hour for a mile.
Yeah.
Not for the full mile, but it got up to that. That's pretty neat.
It's pretty neat. Yeah, now if you have those all over the place, and let's say they're like 20 miles long. Yeah. And you can travel safely without having to do anything in the vehicle for 110, 120, 140 miles an hour. You'll get there pretty quick.
Yeah. So, obviously, that's just a mile-long test section. Do you know what the kind of ultimate goal of those are? Like, are they going to be Tesla only? Is my first question.
Well, I heard, I'll answer that real quick. I had heard back whenever they were developing this that these were going to be like, you drive your car onto it. Well, first it wasn't going to be a car. It was going to be basically like a tram that you got on and basically shot you 1 billion miles an hour. And I think that's ultimately what they're looking at. Yeah. As part of an option. But the other thing I heard is that you would drive your car on there and it would basically hook into this like little almost sled, and then the sled would go.
Gotcha.
But then whenever he came out with it and said, hey, the tunnel's done, and they had a Model X drive through it, everybody's like, this is weird. It's just the car.
Right.
And so I'm kind of thinking, at this point, when it first get open, then yeah, it's just going to be for Teslas. What a good marketing point.
Right.
Like, hey, you can get from here to here if you buy our cars.
And so then that's my kind of follow-up. So let's say that it's, like, around here is all I know. So let's say they put in like 4 or 5 of these, and they were just basically straight shots from Republic into downtown, or Republic to the mall, or you know, something.
Yeah.
Some common place to be, and then nix it to
outer
a
cities.
similar spot or whatever. So you're bypassing all of that surface traffic, and you're doing it at a high rate of speed. So your 12-mile trip is, you know, now it takes you 5 minutes, literally, instead of 25.
Right.
But I'm curious if the selling point is, well, you have to have a Tesla. So now you've got your Tesla, like, once you're in, you get to travel 116 miles an hour. But I'm wondering, like, what's the congestion going to be like
to get into the
getting
tunnel.
into the tunnel?
Yeah, I don't know. He did talk about, like, the benefit of these tunnels is that you aren't limited to a 2D section. So, like, with roads, you're limited to basically one plane.
Sure.
The road.
Uh-huh.
You can build up, but nobody wants you to build up because nobody wants bridges covering everything, because the cities that have that type of stuff and power lines everywhere typically aren't very pretty.
Uh-huh.
Nobody wants to be able to obstruct those views. So he said the big benefit of these tunnels is that you can build like 10 to 12 layers deep, and you can have 10 to 12 tubes, and then you can have 24 of them stacked side by side. So you can have all these tubes going in the same direction, going the same way.
It's true.
And you basically are limited by how far you can dig.
Right.
So I don't know. I think it's
Didn't think about that.
yeah. You got a bigger area to do stuff, but I mean, gosh, you're talking about a lot of digging. A lot. I mean, it took them quite a while to do that 1 mile tunnel.
Well, and from what I heard, like, apparently it was done at one point, but the road wasn't that smooth, and so then they repaved it, and so there was some of that kind of stuff. So I don't know.
I'm really curious with these things for like transcontinental, but the original design where they talked about being in a vacuum tube and inside like a train style like thing, but like it's the mag type, you know, where it's like maglev or whatever, and they could travel at closer to 700 to 1,000 miles an hour, and you could just be on this train that's flying through this tunnel, and you could go all the way across the country in an hour and a half or 30 minutes.
Right.
With some insane speed because you're literally in a vacuum
with almost no friction.
Yeah, just flying.
Yeah.
That would be my ideal trip.
It'd be sick.
If I could have one in Republic or Springfield, that would go to both coasts. Think about vacations. If you could do that, if you could travel to say 4 points, let's say it went from Springfield, and it went up to New York, and it went to Seattle, and it went to California, and it went to Florida. Yeah. You'd be like, where are we going to go this weekend? I don't know. Let's just hop on the bank tube thingy that Elon Musk made. Foom, foom, and then you're there. 20 minutes later, you're all the way in Florida.
Do you know how, you would need a day of rest? Like, so I heard this recently, and I don't know that it's true, because I didn't hear it from, like, a physician. But you know how when you get off of, like, a long flight, you just feel exhausted? Yeah. So I always thought that was just part of, you were stressed about making sure you caught your flight and getting through security and all of these different things, and then you're cramped in this little seat and blah, 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 blah. Mm-hmm. Plus altitude, like, I don't know what that does to you and all this stuff, but, like, you're physically moving through space at 600 or 700 miles an hour in an airplane. And even though you don't feel it because you're in your seat is stationary and all that stuff, like, you're still physically moving through the space at that speed, and it actually takes a toll on you. Yeah. So if that's the case,
you'd be fine. You're underground.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, nothing gets into the ground.
Oh, okay.
The only thing I think that gets into the ground isn't it dark matter that they haven't ever proven?
Yeah, but you're still physically
or
moving.
The God particle.
The God, yeah.
Which I don't think they've discovered.
They haven't.
But it's
I watched that Netflix doc.
Yeah. Did I watch it? What's it called?
The God Particle.
Oh, I think I did. Good show. Cool.
Cool. Yeah.
What else did you have?
I stumbled across 1 terabyte SD card.
Yeah.
We were talking last week about 8-bit games and all of that stuff and how much you can fit on a small thing. Yeah. And, you know, you just got your 1 terabyte hard drive, solid state, and we were talking about flash drives and that sort of thing and how big they've gotten. But Lexar, however you pronounce it, has a 1 terabyte SD card, which seems...
Is it SD or micro SD?
It's SD.
Okay.
Because they said, although we'd love for it to be micro SD, SD is still pretty cool. I was like, gosh, tech writers, you know?
Man.
Just never satisfied.
Never.
But it's $500.
Ooh.
Yeah. So, and it says professional.
Oh.
So
fancy.
They said this would be great for people who shoot a lot of 4K video or even 8K video or whatever. So I was like, that's pretty neat.
That is a lot of memory on a little card.
It's a lot of memory on a postage stamp.
Yeah. And so from what I gather, like, you're sitting there thinking about that and you're like, why don't they just make hard drives that size? Wouldn't that fix a lot of issues with size of stuff? It's the read-write. Right. I don't think SD cards have a lot of read-write capability. I think it's very limited.
This one had come back to me. It had the rate, like, right on the front of it.
Oh, gotcha. Like the write speed or the number of writes that it can do? Because write speed is something that they definitely put on the front of SD cards.
95 megabytes per second.
Yeah. But I think like the number of reads and writes that you can do to it is very limited, and that's why they don't do it.
Oh,
yeah.
So it's that too.
See, with SD, solid state hard drives, you have a limited number too. But it's just much greater. Is that what this
X is? Can you read and write to it 633 times?
Oh, I hope you can read and write more than that. I'm sure it's a lot. It's probably so much that most of us would never read and write to the card that much. Right. But you wouldn't want to put an operating system on it that's constantly writing log information to it. Sure. So, that's awesome. 1 terabyte on a postage stamp size item. Yeah. That's so much memory.
That's so much memory.
So much I almost forgot about it.
But
sorry. So, Amazon Prime Day is coming up.
I saw that.
Do you participate in Prime Day? Have you?
I have perused. I have yet to ever buy anything on Prime Day.
Yeah, I'm kind of more of a peruser. I have bought a few things. There's so many
pages.
But it's just like, most of the time, you almost feel like Amazon's like, well, crap, we got all these warehouses and we bought all this stuff. We got all this
junk.
And nobody bought this, so hey, let's have a day where we just
Here's 750 different kinds of Bluetooth headphones. They're $3 a piece.
All of them have 3-star ratings.
All of them.
None of them have 4 or 5. But I just remember when the first one came out, like, people were like finding weird things, like 55-gallon drums of like petroleum jelly.
No.
Like, what the heck? So last year was a little bit better.
I know where the orgy's at.
I did buy
a 55-gallon drum.
No, did not buy that. I did buy a few things, but it was like they were like really small, and honestly, I didn't feel like I got a good deal. So I'm hoping that this year, I did see that there's Apple Watches that are going to be on there because now they're selling Apple stuff again. Okay. So you can get like a Series 3 for like $200 brand new.
There was one thing that you bought last year that I was a little bit jealous of, but I didn't hear about it until like 4 months after the fact. No, didn't you get your super cheap Dot with something?
Oh yeah, they were running. Was that Prime Day?
I thought so. It might have been something else.
They were running a deal where, and it from what I gathered, it only lasted a few hours before they like
sold out.
So they had a deal where if you subscribed to their Amazon Prime Music for 3 months, at the total rate for all 3 months of $4.99.
Oh, that's cheap.
I think it was $4.99. It was $3.99. It was under $5.
Because it's regularly either $6.99 or $7.99.
Yeah, so you basically got
half price
for
3 months.
3 months for that one price. You would get a dot for free. All you had to do is pay tax on it. So it was like $5-6 that I paid for a dot, and I got the music service.
Right.
And I only found that because I was strolling through 9to5Mac's website at that time, and I saw it, and I was like, "Ooh, that's a really good deal. I should just jump on that," because I wanted an extra dot. And I was like, $4? I don't care. I'll cancel the service if I don't want the music service afterwards. Right. I thought it wasn't going to work, but it did.
Nice.
So I'll be curious to see what all they have on sale. I do want to get, which I'm probably not going to get for a while, but I do want to get one of those Alexa subwoofer things for my living room. So whenever we have people over, the music isn't just coming out of my TV. It sounds a little nicer. Drop. So not that I'm like, rocking out or whatever those young hip kids call it these days.
They definitely call it rocking out.
Totally. But if I ever wanted to, I maybe could.
You maybe could.
Because right now I just stream everything through my TV, and it comes through my little tiny TV speakers. And there's no bass in the teeny tiny TV speakers. No. So that's what I had. Did you have anything else to talk about?
July 15th and 16th, is that what I saw?
That is, yes. July 15th and 16th, Amazon Prime Day. Get your 55-gallon drums of petroleum jelly.
So there's a guy that we run with that uses it to, help with chafing. And my wife uses petroleum jelly at work for kids with chapped lips.
Oh. Well, yeah.
And outside of that, I don't know anybody who uses petroleum jelly for anything.
Well, yeah. I think those are pretty much the main purposes.
So I think the reason that they had it for sale is because all the petroleum jelly that's currently available in the world was made a long, long time ago. Because nobody's buying stuff, right? So they're just trying to move product.
It's like, man,
you said.
We got this 55-gallon drum of petroleum jelly that was made in 1963. Really got to get rid of this.
Our inventory costs are just eating us up.
And Amazon's sitting there in a boardroom going, Why did we buy all this petroleum jelly?
Why did we think?
Why did we assume that this was going to be a good idea? Whose idea was this?
Whose idea? You're fired.
You are fired.
You are fired right now.
So you had something about organization or something. No, it wasn't storage. Yeah. I was disappointed that it wasn't organization.
Yeah. Although organization, this is probably why you went there. I crushed adult life this weekend. So I got Sunday afternoon, not even all Sunday. Sunday afternoon, I got my grass mowed.
Nice.
Changed my own oil, which I haven't done since I bought my Outback because I had a maintenance package. Oh. It expired. Yeah. So changed my own oil this weekend. Bought a rack system for the garage to hang up rakes and leaf blowers and all that kind of stuff.
So you can have your garage organized?
Yep. And officially finished the swing set.
Nice.
It's done.
Done.
I even put the little warning label on it.
Oh.
It came with this little stainless steel plate.
Little plate.
That says, intended use for children 2 to 10. Don't wear helmets because you could choke yourself and all kinds of stuff, right? Don't put this playset over a hard surface.
And you followed all those
I did all those things.
Except
and then
you got on the swing and you swang.
And I swung on the swang. So yeah, but I had to put on a telescope, had to connect the rope, had to put on some rock climbing handhold things.
Yeah.
And yeah.
You got it all.
And it had an extra swing, so that swing is hanging on my new organization.
There you go.
It's just waiting for when they're old enough.
Ready for it to be used.
Yep.
So, what was this other thing that you were going to tell me about?
The Lexar SD card.
No, you were going to tell me.
Storage.
That's what it was?
Yeah.
Oh. Storage. I thought it was actually storage.
Are you super disappointed?
Well, I thought it was actually storage Like
Storage Wars?
I don't know. I don't know why I thought it was a physical shelf or something. Some type of a... All right, so Chad doesn't have anything else.
That's it.
Man, I am not bright.
I just think it's
totally,
funny for someone who's into technology and works with technology and stuff, that when I said storage, you just instantly went to the physical world.
I went to garage.
Yeah. Because
that's where my life is outside of my work life. I am in my garage.
Right.
Doing something with some type of equipment or storage. So.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's all I have for those topics.
With all this tech being so crazy, it's kind of hard being MSU and ACC, but I somehow, some way, keep coming up with crazy-ass tech every single day.
Yes! That was awesome!
Yeah!
That was Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre.
Was it both of them?
I don't know.
It was for sure Snoop Dogg.
Snoop Dogg? That was good. Yeah. How long did it take you to come up with that?
It doesn't take me very long.
That would have taken me 6 years.
So that one, I have a station on Amazon called NWA, and that song came on, and I was like, oh. And so I just stopped mowing my yard, and I pulled out my notes app, and I went, this is... Except I was trying, because he says Snoop D-O-double-G, and I was trying to do double C, and that did not work. There were way too many syllables.
Too many syllables?
Too many syllables in that sentence.
Well, this is Crazy Tech.
This is Crazy Tech.
As you all know, by Chad Songs.
Yep.
If you don't hear the song, it's not Crazy Tech.
That's right.
If you hear the song, it's Crazy Tech.
That's right.
So welcome to Crazy Tech.
Have been thinking that you were listening to Crazy Tech on some inferior podcast without songs, then you weren't listening to Crazy Tech.
You weren't. This is the official.
Yeah.
Patent pending. Patent pending? Patent pending.
There it is.
All right. I'll go first.
Okay.
Because I'm awful at this game.
It's your game.
And it's my game. So, Apple, I'm going to do an Apple one. It's not super crazy, but it's just more price crazy.
Okay.
Apple came out with their HomePod, which you didn't know about a few episodes ago, right? You're like, that's the first time I ever heard of that. And I'm like, wow, they did a really good job marketing. Way to go, Apple.
Yep.
So they came out with their HomePod smart speaker, and it retailed for $400, and everybody was like, holy cow, that is way too much, especially since I can get an Alexa, and it will do almost the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Probably even better.
Yeah.
Sound quality not, but everything else better.
Yeah.
So slowly but surely, they have been dropping the price of their HomePod.
Okay.
And I just read, literally, that...
You literally just read this?
That it is down to $199 now.
Down to $200.
So if you bought at the beginning of... What year did this come out? It was 2018, I think? Or maybe... Yeah, I think it's 2018. If you bought one of these, less than a year ago, less than 6 months ago, you would have paid full price. Double. $399. Now you can get them for $199.
That is crazy.
It's getting closer to my purchasing price because I said I wanted one of the Alexas with the subwoofer just a few minutes ago. Mm-hmm. But if this thing gets down to the same price, which that's pretty close, or actually it might be cheaper. I don't know. But this one, the HomePod is supposed to sound pretty amazing.
You know the problem with it, though?
What?
It's got Siri in it.
I know. God, I gotta fix her. Gotta fix her so bad. But it would be really cool because I do use HomeKit.
Right.
So I could walk through my house and be like...
hugely beneficial for you.
Hey, Ferrari, can you turn on my lights for me? Hey, Ferrari, close my garage doors. Hey, Ferrari, it's time for bed. You stay in here.
You stay in here. AKA Ferrari F50.
So yeah, $199 for a HomePod now. So go get you some. They said they usually sell them for $299, but I guess their price dropped not too long ago. But they originally sold for $399. So
interesting.
Anyways.
Well, I have two.
Okay.
I guess I could have just given you one.
You're a crazy tech hog. Stealing all the crazy texts.
So when we did our wearables comparison a few episodes ago.
The Garmin and Apple?
Yeah.
Okay.
I also mentioned my Withings watch I had.
Uh-huh.
Withings has an ECG watch out now.
I didn't know.
And it's an analog watch. It's got 2 dials on it. One for the time, and then it's got a smaller one for the percentage of your step goal for the day. Is a smaller dial. And so everything else operates through the app.
Yeah.
So it's not touchscreen or any of that stuff, but you can do an ECG on it now, and it's less than $200. So I thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah, that is pretty.
And then there was another watch company that was saying that they were going to come out with ECG stuff soon. So Apple setting the trend there.
Yeah.
But what I really wanted to talk about is something called Vallejo Voyage XR. And it's been really hard for me to read it XR because of Apple.
Did they tell you that it was really XR?
No, I don't know. So it could be 10R.
Could be 10R.
It could be, but I don't know. So this is true, like, crazy tech. So what it is you set up all these cameras and speakers and stuff inside your car. And your rearview mirror gets changed out with a special rearview mirror. And I have no idea the cost on any of this stuff, right? But you can... The video advertisement for this is 1.5 minutes, and I'll put it in the footnotes. But, like, this guy is going somewhere, and so he calls his mom, and she virtually is in his back seat, riding along with him, right? So she's at home, she puts on a VR headset.
What?
And so he's like, Mom, look at this. Isn't this really cool where I'm driving right now? And it's trees and mountains and stuff. And she's looking around out the windows. And it looks like she's really looking out the windows because of all the cameras, right?
Oh, my gosh.
And he looks up at his rearview mirror and sees her back there because of the special mirror. Like, obviously she's not. But the mirror projects her to be there. And he, raises his hand and waves back at her, and she sees that, so she raises her hand and waves back at him.
Okay.
And so she's got a headset and 2 handhold things. But the part that cracked me up is he goes, "Okay, Mom, we're here," and pulls up, and she goes, and she looks out the window, and she goes, "Whose house is this?" And, like, his wife and 2 kids run out. And he gets out of the car, and she's still, quote, stuck in the car, just looking out the window at them. And they're, like, waving at her.
Bye, Mom.
Bye, Grandma.
I'm not going to turn the air conditioner on.
And so it's like, she went on this trip with them, but, like, now that they're at whatever place this is, or their new house that they bought, it didn't elaborate. But now that they're at this place, like, get bleep out of here, lady. We didn't want you here with us. I just wanted to kill some time while I was driving.
What a weird thing.
So you can virtually be in someone's back seat and talk to them like you're there. And that's the whole purpose of this thing.
Is this a problem that needed solving? I mean, it doesn't seem like I want to go on.
It's not the problem we needed solved, but it's the problem being solved that we deserved.
I don't know that we deserve it. Yeah, I'm going to need you to... I can't go on this road trip with you, but I will virtually
But
be there.
I would love to just spend hours sitting and talking to you.
If you could put me into your virtual car, I will sit at my desk and ignore everybody else around me in my normal life.
With the virtual headset on.
With the virtual headset. But whenever we get there, just wave at me while I'm trapped in the car. That is a weird thing. Now, I would like to see where this goes in the future. No. I don't think it's going to go anywhere.
It's weird.
It is weird. Maybe for like phone calls or something, be like, "Hey, I want to be in the environment that they're in when I talk to them." So like I'm driving home and my wife's like, "Yeah, I want to talk to him." So I'm going to pop this thing on and be like, "Oh yeah, blah 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 blah,"
Yeah.
But for a road trip, I don't know. It just seems weird.
Doesn't it?
It seems, especially the whole mirror thing. You look back and like, Mom's there.
Yeah, right in the middle seat, which is the least safe. Put Mom on the side where she's got a shoulder strap.
There's no airbag in the middle. How can virtual mom survive? Oh man. Well, hey, you know what? There might be a reason for this. There might be some use case that they're dreaming up. No. This is maybe. It. Mom's in the back. We're gonna leave you in the car, Mom.
Yeah, it just was so sad to me because, like, okay, we're all here and you're not. Bye.
Bye, Mom. Gotta get off. You look back out there and Mom's still sitting in there. She doesn't realize she can take the thing off.
Oh, God.
You left me in the car for 4 days.
Or, like, let's take it to the next level. So, like, let's say Mom was going to go on this vacation with you, but she broke her hip, right? So she's stuck at home. Mm-hmm. So now you and the kids and the wife are, like, going out to the car each day to chat with Grandma.
Where's
you just spend a half hour in the car.
She's in the car. Anyways.
That's all I got.
That's all I got, too. Why don't you tell them where they can find us?
You can find us on the internet at lunchtimetechtalk.com. There you can browse show notes and you can listen to past episodes, including this one. Mm-hmm. There's 18 now?
This will be 19.
Yeah, this will be 19. So there's 18.
You have just listened to the 19th episode.
You've just finished the 19th episode.
Well, not yet.
That's true. I'm still talking. Man, I don't know how this works. You can find us on social media at Lunchtime Tech Talk on Facebook and Instagram, and Lunchtime Tech T1 on Twitter. You can also find us on Apple Podcasts and wherever else you find podcasts. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at MSUMac. That's MSUMACC. Mike, where are you at?
I am on Twitter at Ron_Bike_Mike, and I'm on Instagram and YouTube at RunBikeMike.
RunBikeMike.
That's it. See you next week.
See you next week. Thanks for having you lunch with the... Bye!
Bye!